Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick tutorial, and when I say quick, I mean quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking, except for right now. So what we're going to build is this blog post right here. So let's just jump right into it. First thing I'm going to do is drag the columns widget into a brand new section. Go to the very top section. We're going to add some padding to the top of 200 and to the bottom of 325. Get a little breathing space. Next, we're going to delete one of the columns because we only want one column here, and then duplicate to get 3 of those. Now let's add a background image here. Going to pick the waves background image, and then we'll make the position center right, just like how that looks. Fixed to make the parallax effect, no repeat, and sizes cover. Now background overlay, we'll choose the color black and then 0.75 opacity. Okay, so where are we now? So we have the business up there and the title and then the date below that. So let's jump back in. So we'll drag a text editor up into the top area for the category, drag a heading in here, and another text editor for the date. And down below we've got an image written by and some text. So we'll come back to our widgets, drag another column into a new section. Let's again delete one of those columns. Duplicate. Go to the top section. And for the outermost column, we're going to give it a background color of white to make it stand out against the page's gray background. Next, we're going to add a box shadow. I'm not going to explain what all these mean. I'm just going to put in some numbers here. I know these ahead of time, so I know what the box shadow is going to look like. You can adjust it for your own preferences if you like. For some reason I can't type in here and edit that, so I'm going to choose the black color and drag it down a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's edit these things here. Let's drag an image. I'll go select my face, insert, change the size to about 100 by 100 here. Sometimes this applies instantly and sometimes it doesn't. Right now it's not going to. Border radius of 100. This will look better when I refresh it. I can make a solid background, a solid border, white border of, let's say, 3 pixels. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save that and refresh it, and you should see it. Yes, there we go. That's looking better. Okay, so now let's drag in one text editor for the excerpt section and another text editor for the content section. And you'll see why that is in a moment. Actually, I'm going to duplicate that because I need the written by up top as well as excerpt. So just quickly type in written by Nick Smart and we'll bold the name here. Oops, let's select it from the bottom. Okay, oops, again with the head, okay. And we'll paste that down here. Go back and grab the excerpt. Paste that into this section. Okay, so this column needs a little more breathing space on the left and right. So I'm going to, percentage, change to percentage, and we'll do, let's try 5 and 5. No, it's not going to be quite enough. Let's go 15, 15. Okay, that looks better. And we'll center this text. got some CSS over here that I will share that will automatically put that drop cap. Oops, that's not where I'm going. Sometimes there's too many places to look. Okay, so the text editor. Here we go. Take the CSS here. And for this area, I'll put in drop. That's my class. Paste this in and perfect. Okay. Now I've got the drop cap. How are things looking here? So far, it doesn't look like much. So let's get back to the top section here. I know these numbers offhand, so I'm going to change that to white. Oops, go back in, 68. The font that I'm using is Josephine Sans, so I don't have to change that. Uppercase 1.2 and 2. And go back to the content and center. But for the column here, I want a little bit more padding on the left and right. So again, percentage and 1515. Okay, perfect. So now below that is the date. And that's just going to be some small text in white. Let's jump back in and style, typography. 16. Oh, again, this is going to be railway down here. It's 400 and white. Let's type in the date. And let's center that. Okay, so now this top part here, I'm actually skipping ahead. I made a bit of an edit there. Changed my mind. I didn't want the text editor. I'm going to use the button instead. You don't have to use it this way, just for simplicity and for making it faster, I'm going to use the button. So it's already mostly set up. So let's type the word business there. 100% border radius to make it round. Change the typography a little bit. Smaller text. Again, that's going to be railway 600. And just a little bit of text padding. Okay, so it's not a perfect match to the other one. I could get it closer, but you get the idea. So now the bottom section needs some work. Jump back into the content area. Typography. I think this is already 16. Change the line heights. Oops. There we go. No letter spacing. Now for the excerpts. I want darker text. And I want it to be bigger. Change the weight, make it a little bit heavier. And let's see, what is the line height on this guy? 2.2. Let's change that to 2.2. Okay, things are looking pretty close. Let's give this a negative top margin to drag that up. Make it sit kind of halfway between the content and the featured image backgrounds. And now I want the entire content area column to move up so that it's sitting on top of the featured image background. Okay, some negative top margin. All right, that's looking pretty close to the other sample. The content column, I'm going to give a bit of bottom margin just to give it some space underneath there so it's not tucked right up against the bottom of the screen. There we go. Okay, so that was so far less than 10 minutes to go from complete scratch to what I think is a pretty decent blog post layout. It's definitely better than standard. Now keep in mind that with something like this, you'd have to use the builder for each post that you create. So you'd save this entire thing as a template, and then every time you build a new post, you come into the Elementor page builder and put in your content. So it's not ideal, but if you're looking for a certain appearance to your blog posts, that'll do it. So in the next video, I will go over how to use Anywhere Elementor Pro so that you build this template once, and then you just use the WordPress editor to write your posts and auto-populate all these different sections.